What you're about to learn in this video is going to dramatically save you time. If you use BMAD or GSD or any other spec-driven development and you're tired of sitting at your terminal, typing / commands into Claude Code for hours or even days while developing projects, I've discovered this way to automate the entire coding sprint that will get you away from your terminal to live your life while your projects are automatically coded using native BMAD or GSD / commands and workflow. I call it the claw loop. Watch this entire video because I'm going to explain exactly how you can use the claw loop. I have a detailed 300-line prompt in a markdown file you can download for free from don'tsleeponai.com. The link is in the description to get your AI agent set up for the entire process. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the time-saving power of the claw loop, why it's better than Ralph, and you'll honestly be able to code autonomously while you sleep or work or go to the gym or code something else, or in this case, film a video. Check this out. While I am filming this video, I have my Clawdbots here in Telegram communicating. This is a remote desktop access back to my Mac Mini back at home. It is communicating with it and automating Claude Code using BMAD to code a project while I'm filming this video. So this process, the claw loop that I'm going to teach you, is no joke. This has been going for about 12 hours, autonomously working through this coding sprint, and I'm not touching it. It's amazing. Let me show you how I'm doing it. By the way, stick around to the end of this video because I will share with you a sneak peek into the next video I'm going to release, which actually demonstrates what I feel is the absolute best use case of this claw loop, which for me has compacted months of work into simply days using the claw loop. So, what is the claw loop? The claw loop is a combination of using Clawdbot, TMUX, Claude Code, and cron jobs. By orchestrating this combination of tech, you're going to be able to work through hours, days, or even weeks of coding while not even being present in the room with your computer. But before you can use claw loop, you need a PRD that has been broken down into an execution plan. So in BMAD, these are called epics, stories, and tasks, or in GSD, this is called phases, milestones, and deliverables. If this is new to you, go look up GSD or BMAD and look at how these AI-driven operational frameworks work. This isn't vibe coding, this is planning and execution of your next piece of software. And once you have your executable PRD and all the tasks that are ready to code, this is what you do. 1. You need Clawdbot set up and ready to go. If you don't know how to do that, I provided a link in the description on how to get Clawdbot set up. But if you're watching this video, you likely already have Clawdbot already set up and ready to rock. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to feed your Clawdbot that markdown file with the prompt I've included in the description below. That prompt is going to tell Clawdbot to set up and initialize the third ingredient in the claw loop, which is TMUX. TMUX is going to allow an AI agent to speak to another AI agent and actually control its terminal. This is the method by which your Clawdbot will orchestrate your Claude Code terminal and completely automate your coding sprint. 4, you obviously need Claude Code. I imagine if you're watching this video, you likely already have a subscription, but if not, you'll need it. And 5th, the 5th ingredient to make this all work, cron jobs. The prompt you download is going to set up your Clawdbot to run a cron every 3 minutes by default. That's how I set it up. But if that's too short for you, you can tell Clawdbot to adjust the timelines of your crons by whatever amount you want. Now, the reason your crons are so important is because it's going to allow your Clawdbot to sleep while Claude Code is coding your project. Every 3 minutes, 10 minutes, or 20 minutes, whatever distance you want to put between your cron jobs, those crons will wake up your Clawdbot and tell it to input the next command. This is really important because there is a function by which your Clawdbot can simply monitor Claude Code terminal in real time via TMUX, which makes it really snappy and reactive to anything Claude Code does in the terminal. And by default, your Clawdbot will try and watch Claude Code in real time via TMUX if you don't use the prompt I'm giving you. That will completely obliterate your tokens because you'll have 2 Claude instances actively burning tokens at the same time. But the prompt that I'm giving you will ensure your Clawdbot goes to sleep when it's not being used. And then those crons will wake up your Clawdbot and tell it to do one of the following. 1, if Claude Code is still working, it'll tell it to do nothing and go back to sleep. 2, if Claude Code's context window is greater than 60%, it'll run the clear / command and clear out Claude Code's context window. And that means its next command will have a wide open context window to work in, and it will hopefully not compact or hallucinate on the next job. 3, if Claude Code is idle or you've recently cleared its context window, Clawdbot will send the next command and the loop will go from there. And then the last thing that I added to that prompt, this is kind of like a little nice thing, I added into the prompt that it will report back to your Clawdbot and deliver a message to your messaging app every time it runs a cron. It will text you on every cron and tell you what story or milestone it's on, what Claude Code was working on when it woke up. That way you can keep tabs on how well your bot is orchestrating Claude Code. Let me show you what I mean by that. So like right over here, this is Telegram, and literally I'm getting an update every single time it runs a cron. So for instance, like on this one, it says story 5.1 complete, 5 issues fixed. It ran the clear command because it was at 93%, and then it sent the BMAD create story / command for story 5.2. 32 stories completed, 33 remaining. So it's just giving me an update. That was at 12 a.m. Then at 12:03 a.m., BMAD loop, story 5.2. Create story. Saw that Claude Code was idle at the prompt. It's still at 38% context. Create the story and ran, but stalled during flummoxing. Story file not created. So it resent the BMAD create story file on retry. 1206 BMAD loop, story 5.2, create story, saw Claude Code was idle, blah, blah, blah. So literally it's giving you a rundown of everything that's going on for every time it wakes up and runs those crons. And it's giving you that update. And why this is nice is because you can see exactly what it's doing. You're not wondering if in the background, is it actually running the command? Has it stalled out? What's it actually doing? And so you can see I have 24 hours worth of messages of every time this cron was updated. And then you can see here, this is the actual terminal where all of these commands are running in Claude Code using BMAD in this instant, or you could use GSD. It's absolutely amazing. And there you have it. This is the Claw loop. I've literally run my Claw loop for 24 hours straight. The truth is your Clawdbot, your orchestrator, is running very little when it's running your Claw loop. It's sleeping the majority of the time, and it only wakes up to give simple commands to give to Claude Code via TMUX. In truth, you could likely run your Clawdbot on Haiku because its commands during a coding sprint are so simple. Now let me compare the Claw loop to the Ralph loop. The Claw loop and the Ralph Wiggum loop share a core philosophy. First, start an AI agent repeatedly with fresh context. This is crucial to get the best work out of Claude Code. And second, work autonomously until the job is done. Both loop methods have that command built into them. However, the problem with Ralph is that it requires very explicit instructions. Ralph doesn't fill the gaps reliably. If you give vague or high-level instructions, it will try and interpret them, but in my experience, it rarely produces what I was hoping it would produce. And that could completely be a me problem. I'm willing to admit that. But if you're anything like me, you've realized the problem with Ralph is that you've got to literally know exactly what you're asking Ralph to do and ensure you can explain to it what done is. But that's the benefit of BMAD or GSD. If you've made it through the PRD process and you have your execution plan, now you just have to code it with their excellent workflows. The problem that you're experiencing now with BMAD or GSD is it takes a ton of time to sit through the coding sprint process. And especially if you're developing an enterprise level SaaS with 50 or 100 or more stories to code, yikes, good luck, see you in a month. The alternative, you might think, is just to try and vibe code your way through a build. No, please stop. No more vibe coding. That is a surefire way of running into a wall of garbled code that does nothing and just frustrates you. Go through the process of clearly identifying your next coding project with the help of BMAD agents or the GSD planning phases, and then let Clawloop take care of the long and tedious process of creating stories, creating the code, running the code review, and manually clearing the context between each command, but the Clawloop will do it for you. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I told you that I would give you a sneak peek of my next video on what I believe is the true best part of the Clawloop. Yes, the Clawloop is amazing at automating those long coding sprints. That's true. But the best part has to do with the testing, debugging, fixing errors, checking RLS, checking all migrations have occurred, and fixing your code in real time. What used to take me weeks and months of frustrating debugging to find or link up UI to APIs and backend processes, browser testing and fixing my code, battling Claude Code to understand what I'm seeing on my end and getting him to fix it, that is all solved and can literally now be done in days using the Clawloop. If you want me to show you exactly how I do it, subscribe to my channel, do that little bell thing, and when that video comes out, it will completely change the way you debug, fix your apps, fix websites, and quality control your coding projects. I promise you, after this next video, you will take your MVP products to a whole new level of quality and functionality. Subscribe to the channel. You seriously do not want to miss it, and I am not being hyperbolic. You do not want to miss that video. Don't sleep on AI. Every day is magic. This is the 1849 gold rush. Be those first prospectors to mine the gold out of them hills. Don't sleep on AI. Thanks, guys.